What's up, buddy?
Hello.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Long time.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while. How's the family?
Family's good. Family's doing really well. Everything's trucking right along.
How's fatherhood treating you?
Oh, man, I love it. It's nice. It's been really, really enjoyable. But man, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. Like we had a rough start. Because when the baby Shirley was born, she had a bowel obstruction, and they removed part of her intestines. Then we gave her an ostomy bag, and we spent like the first 5 months in the NICU, so that wasn't fun at all.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then now we got her home. She's in physical therapy because she's a little bit delayed developmentally, just physically, just from being on her back for like 5 months in the hospital. She's got a couple other issues that found out later on after we got her home, but she's doing really well. She's happy, she's healthy, she's thriving, you know.
I'm glad to hear that, man, for real.
Yeah, she's good.
If you mind me asking, like, because how old is she now?
She's 11 months. She'll be a year next week.
Wow. Okay. Well,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
We kept her alive for a year.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude.
Well, actually 6 months. The hospital did the first 5 months. First 6 months.
What does, for somebody, I've never even heard of physical therapy for somebody so young. Like, what does that look like?
Well, she's so after we got her home and everything, she was a little cross-eyed, and they said when after 6 months if it doesn't like self-correct, then you got to go see an optometrist. And so we went and saw an optometrist, and they had us do a MRI, and they found out that it wasn't structural damage or anything. It was developmental, it was in the brain. And so apparently at some point during development, when she was in Chloe's belly, they had there was like a lapse of oxygen or blood to the brain, and so she has this thing called PVL, paraventricular lumination, and it's just a brain injury from lack of oxygen during development. And she's got and all that means is there's damage to her ventricles, like the white matter in her ventricles. And so yeah, and she also has a little bit of the cerebral palsy. Her muscles are real tight. It's also related to her brain injury.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what we've been going on with. Like, that's when we brought the baby home, I took a break from the podcast, you know, and it was only going to be a little while, and then we found all this out. And so, I mean, I barely started coming back to the pod, like, just last couple weeks, because now we got the doctor's appointments, physical therapy going down, and we're just doing a lot right now, so.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're back in the swing of things, just not just with like podcasting and comedy and all that, but just like in your family life, you've got a bit of a structure to it now, and you have a plan. It sounds like. Yeah,
it was. I mean, it's been insane. Like, luckily, I mean, at work, it's nuts. Like, I totally understand why people have kids and then just never end up doing comedy ever again, like back home and like smaller scenes and stuff like that. Like, it was rough. Like, especially like. The only thing that kept me like still doing stand-up was the fact that I was working at the mothership, and like you're there, you have to go up, and then like it caused me to just change. I didn't want to tell any of my jokes anymore. I just started talking about it on stage and just being open and honest. This is the first I've ever talked about like her like brain injury like on anything. So, I mean, so we'll see. She's in physical therapy right now to like try and get her crawling and sitting up on her own, which she's doing. She's sitting up, and hasn't gotten to crawling yet, but. She smiles. She's very vocal. She's like said a couple words and she said "dad ass." So I was like, "Cool, I win." She said she didn't say that before, Mom. You know, I don't know, man. Y'all, damn, sorry to get so heavy right out the gate.
No,
like,
that's
just what's been going on the last year.
No, that's again. I'm glad that things are falling into place and that they say you guys have a plan. And
well, we're figuring it out. We're
trying to. Said dad, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, so trying to do all of that in the mix of, you know, still trying to be funny and like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was going to ask too was how, because obviously it's a huge benefit that you are working at the mothership. So I'd imagine, as far as balancing your comedy and your personal life goes, just you're clocking into your shift, and during your shift, that's when you get your stage time in.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get booked here and there. I'm starting to get booked a bit more again, like it was before. But for 6 months, it was just I got to go up twice a week, because I'd work Mondays and go up on the cruise show, and then from there you got to go up. There's no reason not to go up. I mean, every once in a while I wasn't feeling it, just didn't do it. But it wasn't like I never went like weeks. I never went 2 weeks in a row without going up. But it was a struggle.
Yeah.
But it also, I'm very blessed to have that place, because it literally allowed me to still, basically keep the dust off and work on new stuff and discover this new style, and like an environment where it was like nice, really quality shows.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the amazing people over at Chop Chili. Guys, this is personally my favorite chili brand here in the state of New Mexico, and you can find them online at chopchilico.com. You can also find them all across the state of New Mexico at Sprouts, Albertsons, Smith's, and a bunch of other stores in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Las Cruces. I believe they're even down in El Paso now. They sell red and green chili, of course. My personal favorite is this blend of red and green, and they also sell online frozen bags of green chili. So again, go to chopchilico.com to get yourself some amazing chili today. Now back to the podcast.
So it did make it a little easier in that aspect of it. My show count was going down, but the quality of shows was still always top tier.
Right.
I mean, the club is great. That little boy room is awesome. It's a little kill box. I love it, and Fat Man's fun too. But yeah, we just feel very blessed and lucky to have that place, because the whole staff that took care of all my managers and everybody took care of us, and and like just anything. I was like, I'm gonna be late, and they're like, show up when you get here, just be here before the shows start, And I was like, because we were living at the hospital. It was like and the NICU, they made us go home, but she had a 24-hour nurse like at her bedside, and we had like a camera that angled in on her so we could see her at all times. So we would go home and sleep. And then get up and just go see her in the morning. Then we would go to work. And then, because Chloe also worked at the mothership, she was in box office.
Okay.
So we would get up early, go to the hospital all day, go to work, go home, stop by the hospital, just spend like an hour there, then go home, go to sleep, and just did that for about 4.5 months. And then the last like month and a half, we were in like a regular room where she didn't have like security or her own nurse or anything like that, and she's a brand new baby, so we were taking just 12-hour shifts at the hospital. It was from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. was my shift, and then Chloe would go from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. Like when I would get off work, and we just did that for like a month and a half, almost 2 months, and then we brought her home, and that's the best part. That was really exciting, very good.
Yeah, good for you, man. You got a hell of a wife too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
she's great.
It's such a unique situation that not even like, it's tough for anyone to go through, whether you're the father or the mother. You know what I mean? So be able to stick with that, and I mean, clearly none of you guys gave up in any kind of way, it looks like. So just, you got a hell of a wife, man. You're a good team, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, and it's nuts, because it's just like they tell you this thing, like she has this injury, and doctors are kind of weird. They did okay jobs there. They had poor communication skills at certain times, and
the table manner.
Bedside manner was terrible. But they're like, it's this thing called PVL, and it's a spectrum, and then you're like, now you have to wait a month to see the neurologist to go over like the findings. And you're like how bad it is, and it's just like for a month we were just like freaking out, because you look at it and there's kids that have like normal lives, but then there's like the worst thing you could imagine. It's just like they're just like, we don't know. See how she develops, and right now she seems fine because she's a baby,
right?
But it's just like, oh my god, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I love her to death, and I will continue to, but shit, I just want her to grow up and be happy and independent, and just someone that could take care of her themselves. Right. So
that's understandable. And I haven't had the opportunity to see you do stand up. And you mentioned that your style has changed through all of this, which is, completely expected. How do you feel like your style has changed before and after this?
Well, I mean, I was just doing like one-liners.
Okay.
Like, just fucking cocky.
Well, I take that back. I've seen you like on Kill Tony, and like I've seen your Instagram shit. I haven't seen you like in person.
Yeah. So it was like I was just going up there with like, just like kind of like deadpan confidence. No real personality, no connection really. Just joke, non sequitur, joke. Just joke. And then I didn't feel like being jokey, and I just went up and started talking about what I was going through, and it took a while. Took a while of it to like get going. It took me like probably like 2 months of bombing at the crew show and trying to just talk about what I was going through and like make it funny, or find the funny in it. And then I would do that every Monday and work on that. And then I was like, whenever I got my spots for the week, I would go and I would do the one-liner. And then like as soon as like I was like crushing at the crew show with the new material, then I would take it and just keep developing it and just thinking. And it's different. I've never been like a storyteller now. Like I am enjoying it. I got to get better at speaking publicly. I say a lot. I know people have already talked about it, and I'm just like I say it a lot.
I'm the same. I'll review my tapes, and yeah. See, there you go. Yeah, and I find myself doing that as well, where it just breaks up the cadence and it breaks up the, I don't know how the right term is for like the immersion inside the joke. What? Not that I'm not going to ask you like burn material or some shit like that, but how do you find the funny in something like that? Like, what's your thought process in finding funny in something like that?
It's just talking about it and, just kind of like just talking about the experience of what I've gone through in it and being honest and talking about like some of the things that have happened to me during the situation, like funny situations, just more just telling stories, less than I would say jokey. It's just telling stories in a funny way, talking about real stuff in a funny way,
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad you're able to find, like, obviously in a very tragic and horrible situation, you're able to find stuff in that will make you a better comic.
Yeah.
That is a maybe like an unexpected blessing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that. How long have you been doing stand-up for?
13 years.
Jesus Christ, man. Good for you.
Yeah.
Where did you start out originally?
Fresno, California.
Okay. How long were you out there for?
8 years.
What made you want to start stand-up in the first place?
I'd always watched it with my stepdad and my dad, from like just two different stuff. They would show me different, like their favorite comics and stuff like that. And then I would watch like Comedy Central Presents and like the Comic View and stuff that Comedy Central would do on the weekends. And then I just kind of got into high school and started driving, and I wasn't stuck at home anymore. And I didn't really think about it ever again until I was like, I was like 25, maybe 26. And I saw, I went to a friend's birthday party and at this place for dinner, and they were having a comedy open mic, and I was like, I didn't even know Fresno did this because we didn't have a club or anything like that. Right. I didn't even know there was a comedy scene, and then I just started hanging out with them, and then one of my friends, the next week I went back and hung out with them, just the comics, and one of them ended up signing me up. And I ended up just going up and tell a bunch of street jokes that, unoriginal, like just internet puns and street jokes and stuff like that. And I did that for a while, and then somebody like actually booked me on a show for some reason, and I did that, and I was on, and I had another friend that was on the show. His name's Aaron Stewart. He's a very funny guy, and he'd been doing comedy for a good while in Fresno. And I went up and I just did the show. I opened it up and did I think it was like a 4-minute set, and it got laughs, but it was stupid. It was just like anti-jokes and stupid shit. And I didn't feel really good about it. And I was in the green room, and then Aaron was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't feel great about that." And he was just like, "Well, yeah. I mean, you didn't tell any jokes. You didn't tell anything original. You just told you're doing that kind of like shits on all of us." And I was like, I don't know, because I was like dumb and naive, and I was like, oh shit. And then he's like, "Do you like doing this?" He's like, "Do you like coming out and doing all this stuff?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well," I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, all right." He's like, "Do you want to do this like outside of Fresno? You think you want to try this for real?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "We'll stop telling stupid street jokes and write some material." And then I didn't go, and I stopped going for about 6 months. And I went to an open mic when I thought I had 3 minutes worth, and just started going. And I remember like one of the first things that we wrote were got a laugh, and I was just like hooked. And then it's just been on ever since.
It's a hell of a piece of advice to get that early on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously scenes vary, especially at the local level, different places, but you still have like the same archetypes of people, and I mean, I feel like it would be very easy for more experience, because it's this weird thing. I don't experience a lot of it, but I see it kind of just here and there, where like you'll have comedians been doing it for a long time, and they see a new guy getting laughs, regardless of why they're getting laughs. They're just getting laughs.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't really want this guy to outpace me.
Yeah.
So if they recognize that what you're doing isn't the best way to go about it,
Yeah.
the wrong person giving you advice, but oh yeah, no, keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be okay. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
So it's good you had somebody early on being like, hey man, write some fucking material. What
Yeah.
are you doing? What you mentioned that you were watching it early on, like with your stepdad. What comics stood out to you at the time when you first started getting into it?
My stepdad showed me Richard Pryor, live at the Sunset Strip, and then and then also Robin Williams, and then my real dad was showing me stuff like Ron White and Larry the Cable Guy and Jeff Foxworthy.
Blue collar guys, yeah.
Yeah, all before pretty much right before that big thing came out. Like I knew about Ron White and Jeff Foxworthy, like from when I was a kid. Like Jeff Foxworthy, we would like drive my dad and stepmom. We would just go on road trips and go camping, and they'd have the albums playing, and we all knew that like if you knew you were a redneck,
Yeah.
you know your redneck jokes and all that. So it was just like different styles.
And then is it? I mean, I want to get to the Mothership stuff in a little bit, but is it surreal now that you're working alongside Ron White every now and again?
It's cool to see him. Like it's just he just walks past you and you're just like, it's Ron. You're not. He's awesome. He's so sweet. He's very nice to everyone. Yeah, he's a cool, funny old man, dude. I love him.
Yeah.
It's when he's on, you're just like, it's just exciting to stop and watch him. It's just like watching the master do his work.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's incredible. So you started doing stand up in Fresno. How far? You mentioned you're saying that you got hooked on it. But like, how far into it were you like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do? Was it that early on for you that you were like, yeah, I'm sticking with this?
I would say I was probably maybe like 2 or 3 years in. I was like getting better. I was getting better, and I was getting more shows and not features, but hosting spots for like independent guys would put up their own shows at bars and stuff like that. And I remember I got to open for Sam Tripoli and Bruce Jingles early on, and they both gave me really good compliments, like, "Hey, you have to move to LA. You gotta get out of here." And then, but I was in school and I wanted to finish it, so I decided I was going for physical therapy to be a physical therapist. And then they changed the requirements to a doctorate, and I said, no, I'm good on that. And then I was just like, I just switched my majors because I had all the prereqs already. I had to take an ethics class, but then I just switched to philosophy and got my bachelor's in philosophy real quick. And then I was going to work for a little bit for my dad while still doing comedy. And at this point, I'm doing stand-up in Fresno and Stockton, San Francisco, Sacramento, a little bit in LA, Bakersfield, Visalia, doing like the whole Central Valley road, doing shows all along there. And then I was like, finally, I went through a breakup, and I was like, all right, I think it's time to move. And I was like, all right, I think LA is the choice. I'm gonna go down there and say what's up. And then all of a sudden, the next week, COVID happened.
Oh shit! I was waiting to see when COVID goes into the story.
Yeah, and then next week, COVID happened, and so I got grounded for about a year and a half. And my family owns a auto glass shop, and we were essential, and we just stayed fixing auto glass and just staying at home. I had a house.
There was a lot of auto glass fixed during that time in that area.
Yeah, I had bought a house in 2019. I was living at home, or not living at home, but living there.
Right.
And I had my mortgage was real cheap, and then I just saved up a bunch of money, paid my credit cards off, and then I just moved here. When Tom and Christina moved here, I was like, I'd like to work with them.
Yeah.
So it's been cool to like see them around the club every once in a while, and it's nice.
But
But so, and I was gonna go to Denver or Chicago. I was like, it's either Chicago or Denver, and then maybe Austin. But I had never really listened to an episode of Joe Rogan at all at this point. Everyone was talking about him moving out there, and I was like, there's a lot of people going. And then when Tom and Christina said it, I was like, well, I would like to maybe meet them and work with them in the future someday. And so I was like, all right, I'll go to Austin. And I got here in November 21.
Have you been to Denver or been to Chicago and done stand up out there? Mm-mm. Because I haven't been to either.
But I'd never been here either. So it was like, I was just moving sight unseen. I was like, just anywhere outside of my hometown. Any place that has comedy clubs would be a step up.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, we've just barely done in Albuquerque. We barely got our first, because we had a Laughs Comedy Club like 13 years ago, and that went belly up. And then we had a local club that was there for about 3 years or so. They just closed down. But about a year and a half ago, we had a club open back up. It's in a casino. And then we just got a Hyenas.
Okay.
So it's starting to get on the upswing a little bit. But, I mean, just like last night, being able to walk from fucking Creek and then just down 6th Street. And it's just comedy club, comedy club, comedy club, comedy bar that does comedy. It's incredible to me.
Yeah, it's popping right now. It's comedy on every corner.
Yeah, it's bananas to me.
They got people barking with megaphones for shows constantly.
You guys have fucking bar bouncers barking people into bars.
Yeah, for comedy.
We don't have that anywhere in Albuquerque.
They're just trying to get the business for the drinks, you know?
Yeah. Because you moved out here in 21. So just talking from like to other comedians that were starting out in Austin, it seems like you were kind of like at the tail end of like comedy in here before the giant boom, and then after the big boom. How's it been like seeing the switch from your perspective?
I don't know, because when I came out here, I kind of had the idea. I was like, it seems like there was a general plan to like getting known here a little bit, because Kill Tony had moved here and it was like blowing up, and I never really seen Kill Tony. My friend was on it once and I watched like her part of it, because I was not a huge podcast guy, other than I would listen to like Your Mom's House. That was pretty much like the only podcast I would listen to it, and now I've listened to a few more, but I'm a little stoned. I forgot where I was going with that.
Just with the moving out here to get seen, because Kill Tony was out here.
That's right. Yeah. So I had this idea that I was like, I think I'd fuck, because my style of comedy, I was like, I'm gonna sign up on Kill Tony. I think they'll fuck with me, and then we'll see where it goes. And I moved out here, and it was interesting because I didn't know a single person. I had one friend that moved down here at the same time as us, and then my roommate moved from Montana to here, or Idaho to here, but he's from Fresno, and we started comedy together.
Oh shit!
So it was just us three, and then both of them kind of just fell off. They just didn't really go out, and they were just kind of like, one had a girlfriend. My buddy Matt was just chilling at the house. He just didn't come out for a while. So then I just went around and I was introducing myself to everybody that I could. And it seemed pretty cool. And then, I started working at Vulcan, and the change has just been like the mothership opened up, and now like bigger people are here more often and just popping in all over, and more people are coming. Like, because when I got here, I felt like I was late. I got here and there was like cliques already, and people were friends, and then then later on we realized they were only here like 2-3 months before I was, or some of them, or
yeah.
Or maybe 6 months at the most before I was. So it's like a lot happened apparently. From my understanding is like there was like the old scene, the Austin Guard, that had all these spots, and I think they didn't like all the new people coming in, and then a lot of new people came in and just started producing shows and doing their own thing. Like Lucas McCurry started producing his shows, and his shows are amazing. You ever go to like Main Course, or still to this day they're like sold out. Like they were selling out, and they got popular, and it's just like, so I mean, the new people that moved in didn't care that like the old people weren't really like fucking with them, because they just like started a new thing, and there were so many of us, or so many of them. And when I got here, it was just like, okay, it's like just kind of navigating, and I got on Kill Tony, got Secret Show, and then Brian Redman just kept inviting me back to Secret Show, and that all happened within like the first 5 weeks of moving here.
That's awesome. Good for you, man.
Yeah, I was like, like what I thought would happen, it happened, and so now I'm good friends with Brian, and you know, it's nice to kind of like set me up as like people took notice. Like it made like everyone else in the scene go, oh, he actually knows how to do comedy or does comedy. Because a lot of the people that we're meeting too, when I was moving here, everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm 6 months into comedy. I moved here to do comedy, and it's like, oh, I'm a year in. It's like, oh, I just started, and so I'm my third mic, and I moved here for comedy. It was like there was a lot of that going around. And then, so it was weird, like meeting some people that are a little more established, like when they like ask you like how long you're doing comedy, and I was like, at the time I was like, oh, like 8 years. And I'm like, oh, okay, like you kind of they'll kind of give you like a second look, and then they'd watch your set and stuff like that. And
right.
It was weird because I mean, there's probably 15 comics in Fresno in the scene.
We've got about. If we're being honest with ourselves, we probably have about 35 in Albuquerque.
Then moving here, and it was like there's 400 people here.
Yeah,
that are all about comedy, and it's like everyone's trying to be nice and friendly and genuine, and it's everyone's really nice and cares and supports each other here, and I've had nothing but good experiences here.
That's good to hear.
Yeah,
that's good to hear, and it's funny you mentioned like showing up and a bunch of people. Like, yeah, a couple months, couple mics, whatever. Because when I originally came out here and like Maverick was showing me around and showing all the cool shit, I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like, I want to move here. And there's a really good comic back in Albuquerque. His name's Zach Abeda, and he's doing real well for himself. And I had that conversation with him, and I was like, what do you think, man? Like, Albuquerque's cool, but like, you know, like, what do you think? He's like, well, I've been doing it for like at the time he was at 7 years. Yeah, he was like, well, I was going to leave too, but things seem to be going pretty well here. We're about to get another comedy club. More audiences are coming out to our shows. And honestly, man, you should probably stick around. Get better. Like, get better here. Build your following here. And then move out to somewhere like Austin.
Yeah.
Just think about that for a second. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then now, like, coming back, and thank God I'm fucking miles better than I was a year ago.
Yeah.
Good God. And like I was talking to my buddy AJ, who came out here with me this time. We came out together. We were talking. I was like, dude, last time I came out here, I signed up for Mothership twice. Didn't get it. I was bummed. Whatever it is, what it is. Looking back on it, I am so fucking happy I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, it was
yeah.
Monday night. If I had done that a year ago,
yeah. But that wasn't your fault. That was a rough. No, that was a rough show, dude.
No, yeah,
I was hosting it. Yeah,
like nuts. Honestly though, this fucking pillow, Jesus Christ. Honestly, like
they were tough.
I'm happy with how I did though.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, like I got.
You got through all your jokes. You didn't stumble. You performed well.
Yeah, and like the couple punchlines that like I know work, got a few laughs. So, like okay, keeping those like for sure. Like I already know those work, but if that got some laughs here, we're chilling.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, like as long as I can just get my shit out and do my best with that, and then get some laughs. Hey, dude, I'm fucking happy.
Yeah.
And I can get to go home and say I did the Mothership. Like it's fucking.
Yeah. It's
fucking. I'm a happy camper. But that's I thought it was pretty funny. First of all, the fucking like the 1930s gangster fucking was the shit.
I literally just wore a nice shirt, and then instead of wearing tennis shoes, I wore nice shoes and just some khakis, and then I got to work, and like Fuzzy's fedora was in the back, and I put it on. I was like, oh, we gotta just goof with this. I just finished watching all the Sopranos for the first time, so I went and got all my gold out and just been wearing that, and found my grandpa's old bracelet. You know, it's fake as hell, but that's who he was. He was frugal. You know, he's a frugal man. But I don't give a shit. I'll make it real one day, but.
That's what I thought was fucking like. You get up there, you're like, all right, this is the open mic portion.
Yeah,
let's get started.
Let's get started. This is the open mic portion. Let's get it going.
And they just look. Some of those audience members just look fucking horrified.
Oh, that was intense.
Because it's the open mic portion, and then a bunch of the door guys go up afterwards.
Yeah, so the first hour is open mic, and then after that we do the crew portion, which is like the door guys, and then after that Dylan Sullivan comes on and hosts the regular portion where it's all the people who are passed already, so that aren't in development. They just come and they do their new stuff, and after that, it's over.
Yeah, that's great.
It's great. Yeah,
I've only ever been in the little rooms. I caught a show there last time I came in.
Yeah,
and it's just such a great fucking room.
Yeah, the crew show is fun a lot too because it is on Mondays. You'll get people on from Kill Tony wanting to come over and pop in and try like their new minute or just and just do some time and every once in a while Ron just pops in, does 15 minutes on it, just pop in. Like I had to follow him one time, like you just I walk in and then like I was like thought I was next. I'm like, oh, Ron's going next, and then and I'm like, great, I get to follow the king. And that was fun. And just rode the wave on that one. That was a good time. Everyone was like, give it up for Ron, everybody. And I was like, shit, I should have called him Ron White. It shouldn't have just been so informal. But I was like, everyone give it up for Ron. Taught him everything he knows. Just some stupid hack bullshit. I was like, and then just kept started doing jokes.
So when you're, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Like, so when you're regularly doing shows there and you're putting in new material, like, what's a good gauge for you personally, like outside of laughs, obviously, but when something that's new that you're working on is working, that's something worth writing, worth expanding upon, that it's worth devoting time to, whereas you could be spending other time like punching up old stuff, working on some newer stuff you have. You see what I'm asking? Like, how do you decide what is worth working on?
Just getting the reps and repetition. And I mean, the thing with the stories is I don't want to say writing on stage because I don't think that's it's more of like the ideas. But I mean, you definitely like the more you tell a story, the better you get at telling it, and then you also just different things will come to you afterwards, and you just try and add them in, see if they work. And then work on other new stuff as well. I've just been doing a little more one-liners and stuff, but it's also right now I'm enjoying the style of storytelling, so I kind of want to figure out a way to bring them together without find a way to bring the stories in with some of my old material jokes that are still good, because I'd like to start bringing get that stuff out there. And then also continue to write silly jokes and then come up with fun stories. And now I'm actually trying to think of what's a funny thing from my past, and I think I've burned my brains or fried my brain so much with drugs and stuff in the past. It's hard for me to remember these things, but I've been trying to recall just fond memories and different things. I've been going through and looking through old photos, and at least for the story aspect of it. And then the jokes are just whenever something that just makes me laugh, I'll try and write it down.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, part of the reason why I want to get a lot of money later in life is I want to get a decent brain scan.
Yeah.
And just see what type of damage mushrooms have done to my brain.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how much CT I have.
Well, because I didn't do them for a very long time, but me and my buddies, every now and again, maybe 4 or 5 times a year for a little bit, we'd take 3 or 4 grams, have a good time for 8 hours, and then whatever. But it was right after the pandemic. We had some money, and we found a guy.
The stimulus checks.
Yeah, right. I don't even think it was well, it might have been stimulus checks. I'm trying to remember because we were all employed at the time. Thank God.
Yeah, but I was employed and I got a stimulus check. They give those babies out.
Yeah. But we were like, you know what? We found a guy that's got a lot. Let's just instead of scrambling every time, let's just pool our money, buy a shit ton now, divvy it up, and then we're good for a while. Yeah. That's a great idea. We end up getting 8 grams each, and we're like, what if we just do them now? What if we just do all of them right now?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we took 8 grams each, and it was the worst fucking trip I've ever had in my life. Complete, and I've never experienced an ego death before. I had a couple of trips that went bad for an hour, then we pulled out.
No, ego death rocks.
Huh?
Ego death rocks because it fucking sucks at the time, but you become a new, better person after that.
Yeah, and
me and one of my best friends. I won't say his name, but we would go to his house. I go to his house on the weekends, and sometimes we'd eat 10 grams. Jesus. On a Friday.
Holy fuck.
And stay, and then just fucking wait, and then just I'd go home Monday. I go home Monday. I grew up with this kid. He was my very first friend, He's 3 years older than I am.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'd just go and eat Just as many drops of liquid LSD as we could. Like I've gone far. I think I've really damaged like parts of my brain from it. Like,
Fuck.
I think that's also. I don't know if I'm really just this chill or if I'm just a docile from the lobotomy I've given myself over the years.
Yeah. The psychedelic lobotomy. He's like, yep, this is life now.
It's like I have just a silly little one-liner. It's like I don't know if I'm retarded or just really good at meditation because I can just zone out and just be gone instantly. Like, just wake up driving. Just shit.
Yeah, because I don't know, man. Like I don't know how religious you are.
No.
But I was like because I've grew up Christian, still Christian, and when I experienced that ego death for the first time, I was like, oh shit, this is like probably like 1% of how hell feels like. This is insane.
Well, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like because I remember like when we got out of it, a buddy of mine, because all my friends, one way or another, they're all like in the medical field one way, whether it's like military or paramedic or whatever. And they're like, yeah, so there's a medical term for what we just experienced. That's called the sense of impending doom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just that for probably 8 hours straight. And I was like, fuck, man, yeah, that felt like there was no more God. Like, God just didn't exist anymore. Because I remember, like, we were in my buddy's apartment, and we were good for, like, maybe an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. And then just the ball dropped, and we lost our minds. And I was, like, hugging myself, like, walking around. And I know there's that thing, it's like, you're not supposed to look in the mirror, but I normally do. When I'm on mushrooms, I just think it's fun. But I caught myself in the mirror, and I, like, sobered up. And I was like, oh, dude, you took too many drugs. Like, you've now, like, lost your mind. They're going to throw you in a padded cell. No more life. No, this whole podcast thing you want to start, that's not happening anymore.
No. Yeah, you can't think like that. You just got to be like, it's just the mushrooms. It's going to wear off. It's just the mushrooms. It's going to wear
I lost
off.
my fucking mind, dude. And then, like, I think that was in October. So, like, the following January, I took, like, 1.5 grams.
Yeah.
Same exact effect. And I was like, fuck. All right, well, me and mushrooms are done.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to experience that bullshit again.
Yeah, I haven't done any of that stuff in a while. I think the last time I did that was Valentine's Day last year. I was flying back from California to Texas because my grandmother passed away. And on the way back, I saw my friend when I was leaving the train station from Fresno to go down to LA to catch a plane. And I had like between where my train dropped me off and then when my plane took off, it was like a 12-hour window. Like I had a whole night, so I just was like, I'm gonna go to the Comedy Store. Yeah. And when I was leaving, my buddy was at the thing with me, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to hit acid before you leave because it's like a long trip?" I was like, it's like, yeah, sure. And it just gave me a hit acid, and like I got on the Amtrak, and I went all the way to Bakersfield, and then you have to get off the Amtrak and get on a bus. And as soon as I got on the bus, it was just like, oh wow. I was tripping. I was like peaking really good. It was some good stuff. And then like I was annoying the shit out of the bus driver, like so mad, you know, he was so annoyed. Then we got off, I went and then I like got an Uber and I just sat quietly in the Uber and it took me to the Comedy Store and I like went in the Comedy Store and chilled on the patio and had a beer. And then like I walked up to the top and Kim Condon had a show going on up there and I went and said hi to her real quick. And then I walked right back out to the patio and a couple of my friends from LA showed up and we just hung out and just hung out on the patio all night and just tripped. And I was just like, yeah, this is fun. And then like... Then they left, and then I Ubered to the airport, and then I was in the airport just high as hell for, I don't know, probably 6 hours.
Jesus Christ.
And then I got on the plane, and then just flew home.
Yeah, I can't be high in public.
Oh, it was terrifying. Like, it was terrifying. Like, the end of it, I was like, thank God I'm coming down, because if this airplane was the bus, it would have been terrible.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing I miss about doing mushrooms is like the last 30 minutes. If we're just like you can feel your breaths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I enjoyed, I used to, in college, like when I was writing my philosophy papers, they'd be due on Monday and I'd drop a bunch of acid on Friday. And then I would just stay up I would stay up as long as I can. And I just sit in front of my computer and just like talk into the dictation and just talk about my philosophy stuff and hit Grammarly, turn it in.
So you basically turned in manifestos and got A's.
I got B pluses, B minuses sometimes. I did get a couple A's. Wasn't like the greatest, but yeah, it was It's an easy way to get through, a fun way to get through a philosophy bachelor's.
So what I'm curious about too is what was the process of you getting the job at the mothership, like getting passed and then becoming a door guy? Because just for clarification, is there a difference between door guy and regular?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the regulars don't have to work there to get stage time.
Okay.
They call in every week. They're allowed to come, like, that's the thing with, like, as a door guy, we're in development. So
Okay.
I mean, like, we get a spot, we get at least one spot. Some of us get more than that, you know. And we're developing and becoming stronger and becoming bigger names, you know, like Christina Mariani's doing great for herself right now. She's blowing up. She's on her first tour right now, which is incredible, you know. So like at a certain point, like,
she's funny as shit.
you know, Casey Blew Up's doing the same thing. He's on tour. You basically graduate tour. You're just too busy to work there.
Right.
It's like you don't really quit or get fired. You just have to be like, I don't have the time to work here anymore. My career's taken off, you know. It's a nice right. It's a good, but, you know, it also allows us to develop in front of real audiences and stuff like that for the people that aren't at that level, such as myself.
Right. And so becoming a door guy, what was the process in getting that gig?
Well, I mean, the process was, it was just an audition for because we were there. I've been there since it opened. And from my perspective, is I was working at Vulcan. I signed up for Kill Tony because it was still there. I got on. Rogan and Jesse Johnson were the guests, and I did really well and got Secret Show. And then, you know, later on in the year when they were doing auditions, Son just sent me a message stating that it's basically a message via Adam Egget that I was invited to audition for one of the 15 spots.
How did that feel?
I was like, that felt great. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like it was like, it's like everything. I felt like this is great. Everything's coming together. Like this is absolutely incredible. And then we did the auditions. I followed Miles, and Miles crushed. And then I got off stage knowing that I'd crushed, and I was like, there's no way I don't get this, because it was like I did really well, especially following Miles, because Miles is incredible.
Miles Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's good.
How
much time did they have you do?
We had to do 3 minutes.
Okay. So same setup as...
It was so stressful because, I mean, we're all used to doing longer. So it was like, we got to put like our best 3 minutes together. And then 40 people went up and auditioned, and they picked 15. 2 weeks later, everyone got the emails that they got the job. And then I didn't. Like, I didn't get the job at all.
Oh, shit.
And then I was bummed for like 2 weeks. And then... I guess one of the 15 didn't take the job, and then I got a call from Curtis, the old manager, asking me if I wanted the job, and I said yeah, and he hired me, and then I started with everybody else when the club opened, and now it's just like, now if you get on the open mic, that's the audition process. That's your audition.
Oh,
and
shit.
Adam's in the back watching. If you do well, he'll invite you to come back and do a crew show. And invite you to come back and do multiple crew shows. And eventually, if he likes you, then that's when he'll tell you can start calling in your availabilities. And that's the process.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that was an audition. Oh, fuck. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, typically, that's just how it.
Right.
That's how it works, you know. Francisco, I believe, was the first one of our friends that we knew that like got in when the club first opened, and he got in and just he did a couple crew shows, and then Adam said you can call in, and now he's at the club. We see him all the time, and he's crushing it. You know, shit. Francisco Ricon.
What? So, is there like, from the way you're describing it, there's a general, like a structure, or like you're saying, like you guys are in development, like there's a plan to make you guys better, like, and giving you spots and like giving you the opportunities to succeed, right? But like for you, do you look ahead a few years? It's like, okay, well, I'm here right now. In a few years, I'd like to be doing blank, and then...
I mean, yeah, but I think every comic that's thinking about their career is thinking like that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean...
What does it look like for you?
I don't know. I mean, right now, it's just... getting the family situated and get the baby good and see where she goes. And as of right now, all I'm focused on is just getting better and writing more material and focusing on the craft and just becoming the best I can be, basically becoming undeniable. And then at that point, you know, we'll see where it goes. Yeah. And then at that point, once I have a little more handle on like life situation, you know, be able to see where it goes. But, you know, the baby wasn't the baby's not a problem at all. It doesn't stop anything at all. It's just now it's going to take me a little more time to get used to this new situation developing with her, you know. So
Right.
at this point, I'll be happy as long as I can continue to go up and perform at the highest level of stand up. And, you know, right now Austin seems to be one of the big spots.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm happy this is where I'm grinding and cutting my teeth at. And, you know, yeah, I mean, as long as I can pay my bills and everyone's taken care of and do fun stuff, and we're set. So,
And the differences between performing, excuse me, when you're performing the little boy and then performing the fat man, because those rooms are set up so differently. What room, like, what develops differently for you in your comedic style? Like, what skill sets do you get to work on in each room? Like, does that make sense? Like, or is it just a lot of the same?
I mean, to be fair, I've only done Kill Tony on Fat Man, and I've done it one time in Fat Man.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so when I typically Little Boy, I enjoy Little Boy a lot. It's fun. It's intimate. You can talk. You can see the people in the crowd. You could, you know, like a little better. Like my experience on Fat Man was great, but those lights are bright. You know,
Yeah,
it's fun. We had a good time, but man, the lights are really, really bright.
I was shocked at, like, because I'm not completely used to it, but I'm getting used to how bright it is on stage and not really being able to see people in front of you or whatever. But that immediate first row, you see them as clear as day. And I was the only other time I've ever
Well, with the open mic, we keep the lights on too.
Oh,
for
okay.
you. Then we keep the actual house lights on for the open mic. Just, you know, and then when it goes to the cruise show, we turn it down into like show lighting.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because the only other time I ever experienced that was the club we used to have in Albuquerque. When they first started, they were like in this little. It was like it was downtown, kind of like on like a little like business strip, and there's this tiny little room that you walked into, and they had like baseball seating screwed into the floor, and they were like the stage would end here, and then the seats were like right here. Mm-hmm. So you walked out. Like, I remember that's my first like I did like a couple of bar shows leading up to that, but like comedy club show, that was my first one, and I remember getting up there and I like squatted down. I was like, man, you guys are fucking close. But I didn't realize how close it was until I did squat down and I could smell the chick's perfume. And I was like, holy shit, you guys are fucking close.
Yeah, there's a lot of places where they have like the front row table just right up there, right up in front.
What? How do you find yourself, because you've been doing it for 13 years, and that's a long time to be doing anything. Like,
Yeah.
How do you keep yourself, aside from this, the inherent, like, I really do enjoy doing this, like, what keeps you in love with it? And because you do something long enough, it almost like it becomes a job, you know, and it is your job.
Yeah.
But what keeps you falling in love with stand-up comedy?
I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just the experience, you know, making people laugh with the things you come up with, and that keeps me coming back. I've been hooked since day one. Yeah. I mean, if you don't like doing it, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's tons of points where we get off stage and we're like, fuck, you know, like, you know, you bomb and just like, why does this feel like, it's not always fun, but I mean, still getting on stage and performing it's awesome. It's fun. I don't know, it's probably just a little bit of my the need to be the center of attention as well, you know, like at some point. I mean, when I first started doing it, I was doing it with my friends, and we were just going and making each other laugh, and that's all we had, you know, and I was doing that on top of just living life normally. I mean, for years, I did it casually, like 2-3 days a week, because that's all, like, you could do it. And so, I mean, still just going about just living my own life and just taking care of things. And
Yeah.
then now here it's the same thing, except now I spend all my time at the comedy club, and I also get paid to be there, and it pays my bills, and, you know, and it's exactly what I moved here to do, and I'm getting the best situation. Right now, it's like a really great situation of it, and it's just like, how could you not be in love with it? Like, you had a dream and that you thought about, and you decided to go for it, and it's coming true, and not in every single way you thought, but I mean, it's a lot of parts. I'm very grateful for everything that's happened to me since I've got here, you know.
Yeah, no, and
like good times and bad, you know.
And I love hearing those stories about that. That's exactly like, and again, I don't know how the fuck it's gonna work out. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. But the idea of being able to go to a comedy club, work there, get spots, and get paid to do all that shit is mind blowing to me.
Yeah,
it really is. Like, I love hearing like stories of success like that, and that's awesome that you've been able to like live the life you're living right now, despite the setbacks and despite the everything that's going on. Like, and you seem to be handling it extremely well, and like I went, we went and signed up for Kill Tony last night. Or 2 nights ago, rather. Mm-hmm. And just sitting in... First of all, it was fucking hilarious being in Shakespeare's. And like they start reading off the first name. It's like, blah, 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 blah. You're on Kill Tony. And everyone's like, yeah. Woo! And then 4 or 5 names down the line. Hey, Bo, you're on Kill Tony. Hurry the fuck up.
Hurry up. When's my name getting called?
Yeah. So that was funny, but like...
I've never hung out in Shakespeare's while they do that. I did at Poor Choices. I'd hang out with some friends if I had the night off or something,
It's a fucking loony bin up there, dude.
Yeah.
But like, it is eye-opening. So I got a little bit of that when I signed up for Mothership the first time last year. But it's eye-opening looking around and being like, oh no, like, maybe not all, but most of the people in this room believe that they are the funniest around, or that they're going to be the funniest around, and they want this just as much as I do, if not more.
Yeah.
So it's like, that was kind of like a real eye-opening thing for me. It's like, oh, you have to keep fucking working. Like, there are no like excuses to this, because someone's going to outpace you.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, you see your friends going up and just crushing and with stuff they wrote last week, and it's all new, and it's just like, just inspires you. You're like, I got to get new stuff and come out, and you just have a good time. And
yeah.
I mean, at a certain point, you get like, even if you are working on something and you feel like you got it down, like the desire, like, okay, what else do I got to make these people? It's just I don't know how to explain it other than it's just like I need it.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I'm not nearly as proficient in my discipline of writing and doing all that stuff as I should be, but I try and get it in and make time for it. And it's just like anything else in life, you have to make time for it. And
right. Yeah, that's something I have to work on a lot, and that's why I really enjoy. Like, I went to Plano a couple weeks ago, and I got to host for Chloe LeBranch, and that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun.
Love Chloe. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's fucking hilarious.
She has the same name as my girlfriend.
and Riley.
First name only.
Riley Gilmore was the feature, and he did a fucking great job. He's a funny guy. But I like being able to have time like that just alone where I can write, because for fuck's sake, I'm not great at it on my own personal time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just seeing the amount of people in one area that wants the same thing that you do. And then, yeah, like, I'm finding it hard personally to go to a lot of open mics recently, because like because we'll put on shows in Albuquerque. Like, we have a weekly show, and then we have 2 monthly shows. And I'll go to open mics and just fucking die. And then I'll go to like our shows, and they're bar shows, but they're shows with real people, real feedback, whatever. And we set it up the best we can for comedy, because God bless them, the venue owners, they let us do whatever the fuck we want, like with the lighting and the sound and the seating. And so we just try to emulate a comedy club as much as humanly possible. And then so I'll like do a joke that I think is good at a mic, dies. Might get a chuckle, but just dies. And I'll do it at a show and it works. I'm like, well, what the shit?
Well, yeah, open mic, no one's listening. Open mic, no one's listening to you at all. Everyone's in their notebook just waiting for their turn to go up, and if there's not a real person in the audience, like, then no one's listening.
Yeah, no, I was gotten to the point now, like, if I'm going to an open mic, it's not even like to go, like, yeah, like, if I can get a laugh, I'll get a laugh. Like, that's the end goal of anything. But I just want to figure out, like, okay, how does this sound coming out of my mouth? Like,
that's a lot of it, just getting it out and
yeah,
performing, getting the reps out, learning how to say it and how your cadence is and how you want it to come across. That's all part of it. It's just part of the growth and just learning and getting reps in.
Yeah. No, it's, I'm learning to enjoy the, cause I've never been, like, a super, like, outgoing and super, like, extroverted person. Mm-hmm. And thankfully, like, much like you were saying, how you did a couple open mics and someone booked you for a show like super early. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened to me. Like, because I started doing the podcast like 4 years ago, and I didn't even know we had stand up in Albuquerque. I just didn't know that was a thing. and I went to a local roast battle, and I was like, shit, some of these dudes are like legitimately fucking hilarious. Like, what the fuck is going on in Albuquerque? Had a couple of them like, yeah, we have open mics, you know. And of course, like, you should come to an open mic and watch. You know, want real people. And I went a couple of times, and a few of the comics that were running it that I'm friends with now, after one of the mics, they're like, you're gonna do fucking stand up next week. Like, you keep coming here, just watching. You might as well fucking do it. And I went up. I did 5 minutes, died. And one of the hosts, she pulled me aside and she was like, hey, so you're actually not that bad on stage. Your writing sucks, but you're not that bad on stage. Do you want to do 5 minutes next month? And I was like, sure. And that was just kind of like the jump. I forgot where I was going with this point, though. I got to be honest with you. Oh, yeah, just it's interesting being able to now put together shows and watch like a small scene like Albuquerque grow, because now that we're getting a lot more, like we have 2 comedy clubs, they're expanding Netflix like crazy, so a lot more like talent is coming in, and we'll see like me and AJ, we've been trying to make as many connections as we can to bring people in and like figure out how to host other people and how to put those shows together, and just I'm learning to love like the behind the scenes part of comedy a lot more, which I'm happy about. Which, like, how do you put a show together? How do you send a professional EPK? How do you professionally reach out to comedians that you may or may not know that are coming through your town? That type of thing, and learning how to network and how to
I don't know how to do any of that.
Coordinate talent, dude. It's like I'm still learning it.
Yeah,
I'm not proficient at it by any means, but it's fun, like seeing all of it behind the scenes and then make it come together and then be a part of it. Like, I'm starting to learn and love all that type of shit.
Yeah.
So it's a whole world that I never would have even guessed is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. This has been a lot of fun, dude.
It has been.
For real. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Glad you got on. It was funny. They brought me the list and I saw your name on there. I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. I didn't even know, because I was hosting. And they just like, here's all the comics. I was like, cool.
Yeah, that was it still doesn't really, like, because I'll be real, I'm such a huge fucking, like, Rogan and like, Kill Tony and all of that fanboy. So to be able to do that, I'm fucking
good.
Beside myself.
Good, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that you and your wife and the kid are doing well and that all of that's coming together, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember seeing all that shit on your story and praying over you guys, man.
Yeah, it was so much fun up until it was terrifying. Yeah, I was cracking jokes. I was like, she's a beautiful baby girl. It's 12 fingers, 12 toes, you know, like making stupid jokes like that. And then, like, because everything was fine. And then they're like, all she has to do is poop and you guys can leave. And then she just, little jerk, never did it. Never pooped. And then they got an x-ray and it was all downhill from there. But now she's home and it's all uphill. So we're getting through it.
I'm glad to hear that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Where can people find you on social media? And then this
will come Nicholas,
out in probably like 3-4-ish weeks.
Okay. So it's Nicholas _Ceppaglia at everything. Check out the High Noon podcast. That's at High Noon Pod on YouTube and Instagram as well. I got a couple. I might be having some projects coming out soon. We're working on something. But it's not ready to talk about yet, but it should be coming out here soon.
Cool.
Or be willing to start talking about it soon. We're still in the very, very beginning stages of it.
So we'll keep me updated. I'll put in the description and all that. So.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, it won't be out in time for this, but
okay,
yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again, man.
Thank you.
It's been a lot of fun.
Alrighty.
Thank you everyone for listening and watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you like what you've seen here, please share it with as many people as possible. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It really does help out the podcast. And if you're feeling extra generous, feel free to subscribe to our Patreon, which I have coming soon.